Worst XI from Premier League January signings including 3 Chelsea flops. The January transfer window is a great time for clubs to reshuffle their squads and bring in some reinforcements ahead of the second half of the campaign. Yet too many times down the years have we seen some horrendous decisions made when clubs believe they've done a great bit of business. Pointless money is often splashed in moments of madness when a Premier League status could be on the line or Champions League football is at stake. Desperate attempts to save a season are often made in this window, where some of the top-flight's strangest and most regrettable transfers have taken place. Here is a combined XI of the Premier League's worst-ever January transfer window signings. Who do you think is the January transfer window's worst-ever signing? Have your say in the comments section below. It's not often that many goalkeepers will move in the January transfer window, and so we've had to roll back the years with Bosnich's horrendous move to Chelsea in 2001, which proved to be a shocker. The Australian keeper signed at Stamford Bridge following a tough time at Man United, where Sir Alex Ferguson described him as a terrible professional, and he didn't make his debut until the following season due to fitness and injury troubles. He managed just 5 league appearances for Chelsea before he was sacked by the club in 2002 after testing positive for cocaine and was banned from football for 9 months. Rangers recorded their highest fee received for a player when Tottenham spent £9 million on right-back Alan Hutton in January 2008. Yet the money never proved to be worthy, as Hutton would look out of place and failed to reach the heights of his big money move while he was sent out on loan 2 years later. The Scottish international finally recorded more than 15 Premier League appearances in his final season at the club, while he also criticised manager Harry Redknapp for treating him as an outcast during his spell at White Hart Lane. We all remember the Chris Samba who proved to be a rock at the back for Blackburn between 2007 to 2012, and that's exactly what QPR must have been thinking when they signed him in January 2013. After arriving from Russia side Anzi Makachkala for a whopping £12.5 million and on an eye-watering £100,000 a week deal, Samba couldn't prevent QPR from being relegated and was deemed unfit during his stay. After telling QPR fans to get over his high wages, he ended up returning to Anzi 6 months after he arrived in London. Man City spent £10 million to bring left-back Wayne Bridge to the Etihad Stadium in January 2009. Where he struggled to cement a regular starting spot due to constant injuries. Bridge was paid astonishing wages of £90k a week, but ended up being sent out on loan during his final 3 seasons at the club. His final appearance came in a League Cup match in 2011, before finally leaving in 2013. Juan Cuadrado looked like a very exciting and promising signing for Chelsea when they captured him for £23.3 million in January 2015. Following an impressive time in Serie A with Fiorentina, the Colombian international could never cement a place in the first team or provide the performances to go with it. He managed to tally just 15 appearances in all competitions in 2 years at the club before he left permanently for Juventus in 2017. The late Gerard Houllier paid £6.2 million for Lyons' Gene Mackin in January 2011, hoping the midfielder could bring his Champions League and League One experience to Aston Villa in the Premier League. A month into his career at Villa Park, Mackin was sent off for a shocking challenge on Blackpool's DJ Campbell, and in the end he managed just 9 Premier League appearances in 2 years at the club. When new manager Paul Lambert came in and spoke of Mackin, he said that he had not got a clue what he looks like. Mackin was sold in 2013. Coming towards the end of his career, a £5 million move for Jimmy Bullard from Fulham to Hull still seemed like a decent signing for the relegation-threatened Tigers in January 2009. Yet Bullard was injury-prone and failed to make a real impact, meaning he made just 1 appearance that season and had absolutely no impact at all. In 2011, the midfielder departed the club after being suspended following an incident on a pre-season tour and had his contract subsequently terminated. Mostly unheard of before his £9 million transfer to West Ham from Italian side Brescia, Savione Sireko made 10 Premier League appearances for the Hammers before leaving just 6 months later. Savio looked nowhere near up to standard, and the transfer proved to be so bad that the club even launched an investigation into how it was even allowed to happen. Now 31, he has had spells all over Eastern Europe, while he now plies his trade in German non-league football. Fernando Torres was arguably the best striker in the Premier League during his time at Liverpool, despite a decline in his final season, and Chelsea went all out to get him with a £50 million transfer on deadline day. Yet that money proved to be a disaster, as Torres scored just 1 goal in 18 games in all competitions for his new club for the rest of that season. His next 3 seasons in the Premier League for the Londoners amassed 6, 8 and 5 goals, respectively, before officially leaving in 2016 after 3 loan spells abroad. Andy Carroll certainly impressed after his initial breakthrough at Newcastle United, yet Liverpool's monster £35 million bid for him in January 2011 was certainly unjustified. Carroll was already injury-hit by the time he arrived at Anfield and didn't make his debut until March, going on to score twice in 9 games for the rest of the season. Just 9 goals came in his next 49 appearances before he was eventually moved on to West Ham for a further £15 million in 2013. Arriving for the small price of Henrik Mkhitaryan, who left for Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez remains one of United's worst pieces of business in recent memory. The Chilean showed nothing of his finest form he exhibited at Arsenal and managed just 5 goals in 45 appearances. Many will argue Sanchez cost the club little, but his staggering wages and United's hurt pride will disagree.